Welcome to Ghost Stories with Anjelah Johnson. I'm your host, Anjelah Johnson. Alright, you guys. Oh, why thank you, Bonzo. Appreciate it. Okay, here's the deal, guys. I have been obsessed with haunted, ghosty, paranormal type stuff since I was a little kid. Like, my favorite TV show growing up was Unsolved Mysteries. Do you guys remember Unsolved Mysteries? Fun fact, they're back on Netflix. I haven't watched any new episodes. We'll talk about that part later. Unsolved Mysteries was my jam. Like, I would watch it when I was home alone by myself because that made it scarier. Like, as soon as that theme song came on, whoo, forget it. I'm not going to pee till my mom gets home. Turns out, a lot of you guys are also into haunted, scary, paranormal stuff because I posted a video of something that happened when we were on the road in Cleveland. Paranormal, crazy, haunted stuff. A lot of you guys left some stories that were crazy. Sent me some DMs of some videos that was crazy. So I was like, yo, let's do an old school campfire style ghost storytelling sesh. Okay? So that's what tonight is about. I have my friend Erica here. Let me show you Erica. Erica.
Yes. I'm ready to be freaked out, so I hope you're going to scare me.
Yeah. She's going to be keeping track of like all your comments and stuff like that, and helping me pick like who's going next and all that kind of stuff. Also, she's very in touch with the spirit world, so in case something tries to jump at me, she can go ahead and tell me, be like, oh, I see one, he trying to get you, and then we'll be like, I rebuke you, and then he's gonna go. Is what's gonna happen.
That's what you're hoping is gonna happen.
Yeah, that is what I hope is gonna happen. Protect me, Erica. Okay, ground rules, here we go. 1, keep your story short. If I pick you to come on here and tell your story, keep it short. Cut out details that are not necessary. If this happened at your Uncle Steve's house, but he's not really your uncle, he's like a friend of the family, you grew up with him, I don't even know all those details, okay? Just say it was at a relative's house, okay? Cut out all the details that we don't need, okay? That's rule number 1. Number 2, do not request to be live with me if you don't have a story to contribute. If I pick you to come on live because you requested and you're like, oh, I don't have a story, I just want to say hi, I will hang up on you. I won't even say, oh, we're not doing shout outs right now, I gotta go, bye. I'm just gonna be like, click, bye. Okay? So, do not request unless you have a juicy, haunted story to contribute. Okay? Last one. Oh, if you're here in the comment section, like you're here to watch and listen to all these crazy stories like me, then leave me a comment, tell me what you're thinking, give me some hearts, give me all the things, and let me know what you're responding to, okay? And if you're watching and something creepy happens at your house while you're watching, show me in the comments too. Okay. So, first up, you guys, I have a special surprise for you. My first guest telling y'all a crazy story is one of my besties. So, hold on. Where is it? I'm telling you that. Stand by. Oh. Just kidding. Turn back around. Okay. Let's see if he's on to tell this story. I do not see him. No. Hold on. Standing by still. He's in a little text. People go first. It's a very special guest, you guys. Are you on? Let me try again. It says that my mom has requested to go live. Mom, do you have a story you want to contribute? That's weird. Thank you, I look so cute. Thank you so much. Okay. I don't see my friend on here, so I might go to the next caller, okay? Because I don't see him on. Okay. Next caller is another friend of mine who I do not see on there either. Bro, where are all my people? Looks like I'm gonna have to pick somebody that's on here because none of my folks are on here. Okay, you guys. Leave me a comment right now and tell me if you have a story to share so I could click on your name. Because none of my people. Oh, there they go. Yeah. Here we go. First story coming up.
What's up?
Hey!
Hi.
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys?
Staying safe.
Doing well. Okay, so listen, BJ. We were at Disneyland, right?
Yep. The spookiest place on earth, right?
You started telling me a really creep story, super crazy story from when you were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bro, you need to come on and share that story. So, take it away. Tell everybody what happened.
So, I was gonna tell another one from the Philippines, but you want the high school one, huh?
Yeah, that's the one that I mean, I guess you could tell a new Philippine story. I don't know this one from the Philippines. And you know, I love me some pancit bihon. So, tell me the Philippine story.
Okay. So, it's the year 2000, right? And me and my family have been going to the Philippines for like the last 4 years to for Christmas, and then we did a lot of charity work. Anyway, cut to my family was gonna go to this island called Mindoro, and it's a 3-hour cargo boat ride to this island, right? And then we get there, we have, we're tired from the ship. We go and have lunch at this place. We eat, and then after we're done, we're finally going to go to this spot in Mindoro, which is a 3-hour drive. It's off-road and everything's very just like remote.
Mm-mm.
So after we have lunch, I'm standing outside this store, and I'm just looking at all our family and our relatives packing up the trucks. And then right behind me, there's this old lady just pops up right behind me, and she touches my face. And she says something and in a different dialect. And one of my cousins says, "Oh, she said you're so young." And I'm like, okay, didn't think anything of it. Went into our Jeep, we started going. Maybe 3 minutes later, I started feeling sick, like where I just had to go outside and throw up, right? So I throw up and then, well,
Okay,
mind you, Philippines
tell.
is like Hawaii where it's very spiritual, okay?
Uh-huh.
So I do my thing, and then I get back in the Jeep and we start going off-road. We get to our location, and I wanted to go snorkeling with my father. So I tell my dad, like, hey, can we go snorkeling? And we ask one of the local fishermen, and they take us to this spot, right? So, and at the time I was living in Huntington Beach, I had a 200-gallon fish tank, and I wanted some cool stuff from, the water of the Philippines. So when we were snorkeling, I'm looking around, didn't see anything, and we're on this cove, right? And me and my dad, we only had one pair of snorkel gear, so I would go first, and then my dad went. When my dad was going, on this cove, on this backside, I hear like this, like just tickling going on, right? And then I look up, and it's this huge scorpion that looks like it's the size of a lobster, right? Whoa. And mind you, I'm standing on the cliff of a cove where there's water in front of me. And I look up, and I'm like, oh, that's so creepy. And I look back down, and then there's this shell that's just glowing in the water, right? And I was already snorkeling in this area, didn't see anything. You have a Little Mermaid ghost? I know, right? It's kind of like Moana. It's the yes. So then I'm trying to reach for it while I'm on this cove. I'm reaching, I couldn't grab it. So I tell my dad, can you grab that for me? So my dad grabs it for me. And then the fishermen are saying like, oh, we better head back in because if we get caught out here, there's all this coral reef. We're not going to be able to make it, right? So we go back to our base camp, and I'm taking a shower and I'm getting ready. Family's cooking this big old feast, as Filipinos do. And then I was in this tent with my mom, and I was telling her, I was like, I don't feel so good, right? So my mom's like, well, let me check you. And she checks my temperature. She's like, you're burning up. And then all of a sudden, I just like,
you.
yeah, let me check you. Oh, your temperature is so high.
You have a fever.
So I'm laying down, and my mom is telling my dad, like, you better come here. VJ doesn't feel so good, or something's wrong with him. My dad was like, oh, he's probably just joking. You know how VJ is. So I'm like, just feeling nauseous, and I'm feeling hot. And my mom's just calling my dad, like, something's happening to VJ. And then all of a sudden, I black out, right? So my mom and her relatives, they're in this tent, they're freaking out. And then all of a sudden, I wake up, but I'm not in my body. I'm hovering, looking at my family, looking at me, and it's kind of hazy. And then I hear this laughter, like this guy, just this demented laugh going around. And I'm like, what is that, right? And then I feel like I'm in my body again, and it feels like I'm drowning, where this guy, that cove I was at, it felt like I was the shell and trying to reach out, and this guy was holding me down laughing, right? So mind you, I have no idea what's going on. My mom tells me, and it's from, like, if you ever meet my mom, she'll tell you, like, I just started talking in a different dialect.
Ooh.
That I grew up
to Ilocano
to I have no idea what this is. Yeah, because growing up, I knew how to speak Tagalog, but my grandmother, after she passed, I never really talked to anybody. So it kind of just out of my mind.
Okay.
So I'm speaking a totally different dialect besides Tagalog. And everybody had to hold me down because apparently I was really strong, and I wasn't levitating or anything, but I was just like saying something in tongues. And then I would snap in, and I would say, like, somebody's here. I guess I kept saying that. And then my mom's like, we gotta get him to the hospital. Mind you, I'm 3 hours away on this off-road site. And the people are like, there's no doctors out here. Like, we're in a remote part of the island. So one of the people were like, how about a ablario? And the ablario is a witch doctor.
Oh, shoot.
My mom's freaking out. She's like, anything, just get him. So the ablario comes in, and right when he comes in, I guess he says, there's a spirit here, right? So he says something, he's holding me down, and I'm just hearing this guy laughing. I feel like I'm drowning. And then all of a sudden, like, he's doing this chant, the ablario, the witch doctor, and he does this thing where he takes like a match and he blows it inside some water, and he does some sign on my head and then on my shoulders. And then he slapped me in my forehead. And then I just come to, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what just happened? And then all I see is all my family staring at me like, what just happened? And I had no clue what was going on. And my little cousins, God bless them, like, they were like, oh, Uncle VJ. But then once they saw that, they were like, nope, don't want to hang out with him anymore. Nope, we're here. We're cool. We'll stand 6 feet away. We're good. So, yeah, but after that, I felt like I was super tired. And then the ablario was asking, like, what did I do that day? And we told her, like, oh, that lady touched my face. And he thinks the lady didn't know, but since she touched my face and said something, that maybe she was, like, saying that I was young and she was trying to get the youth. I have no idea. But also the shell, they ended up bringing the shell back that night. They, like, went through the coral reef. They're like, nope, we're putting this back. So everything was cool.
So this could have been the old lady did a little spell casting, or the shell you took from the ocean had some Moana, Little Mermaid type powers,
Right.
And messed you up.
Yep. But I wouldn't say I was possessed. It was more like an out-of-body experience. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to say I was possessed. Then people are going to be all my friends. Mind you, I haven't told this story. I might be told this to maybe a handful of people. Now I'm saying it to, like, all your followers. So, and all my friends that are watching, they're like, yeah, remember that story you had? Yeah.
Bro, that is nuts. Did you feel any type of way afterwards? Like any kind of lingering, like, feelings?
No, I was just super tired, just tired.
Ooh.
Like the next day, my mom's like, "We're out of here." We weren't sticking around. We just got on the, we got on our Jeep. We went on the boat, went back to Manila, and we were good.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I was just super
Salamat.
tired.
Adios. Bro, thank you so much for sharing that story.
Of course.
That is insane. Go do a couple Hail Marys to make sure it don't come back.
It was 20 years ago, so we're good now.
Okay.
So,
Good.
and you know, I have lots of other stories. So whenever we're gonna do part 2,
I'm gonna need you to tell that high school story because,
oh yeah,
especially because that's Bay, and so like I relate to it. Anyways, you gotta tell that story next time for sure.
for sure.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
See ya.
Can't wait to hear the other stories.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You guys. That's nuts. That was like, do you think it was the lady cast a spell or the shell he took from the ocean?
I think the lady cast a spell.
For sure, right?
Yeah. And then it just stopped in a minute. Yeah. Something came out.
Okay. All right, you guys. I think one of my besties is on. What the hell? Oh. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Let's see. Okay.
It just commented you.
Bum, ba-da-da.
How you gonna ask 2 Filipinos for ghost stories?
Apparently, y'all come with the crazy demonic spirit stories. I don't know what.
Whatever you got, Latinos are just as bad.
Yeah, we got the Bruja stories for sure, but you have a crazy story. Okay, listen. For those of you that are just joining, this is Ghost Stories with Anjelah Johnson. I'm your host, Anjelah Johnson. My BFF here, JoKoy. Now listen, you told me a crazy story a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I remember when you told me the story, I freaked out. I was like, that is unreal. And I couldn't remember a lot of the details. So I was like, Joe has to come on and tell this story to everybody. So I'm so excited that you agreed to come on and tell this story. And without further ado, take it away.
Okay, so every year I go, right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Pause. Stop walking around because your internet is doing that.
Oh, okay. All right. So every year, I go to Hawaii, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna sit down right here.
Please.
How about right here? Is that good?
Yep, I like it there.
All right. So every year, I'll put these back on.
Wait, did you move
Another scary story from a Filipino.
We have lots of stories.
Oi, there's ghosts everywhere, huh? They're spooky, huh?
Uy, halikan mo ako pagi.
Uy, sino yan? Sino yan? That's scary.
Uy, you scare me, huh?
Uy, I thought that was a ghost. It's my dog licking my foot.
It's my reflection. Oh.
It's my reflection. Oh, my God, that's me. I'm scaring me, huh?
Keep your glasses on. You are scary.
You're so funny. You want to talk about ghost stories and you're wearing your Beetlejuice pants.
I know, I did that on purpose.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was like, I want to wear like a creepy vibe outfit.
I wish I could wear striped pants like that.
You cannot. I'm sorry.
I can't. Solid colors for me only. All right, so we go to Hawaii. I always take my nieces and my nephews, right? So we go deep. It's always about 8 of us, right?
You're so rich. Okay, go on.
Stupid. So there's like 8 of us deep, right?
Uh-huh.
And I get this Airbnb. It's gonna be a faster paced story, okay? Because if I do detail, it's not good for IG Live.
Okay, but
My
give me the
God.
details though.
So all right, so we go to this Airbnb, and I got all the kids with me, And right away, right when we get to the house, we open up the garage door. And you know that one movie, The Conjuring? You know how it has like that, it's like a dresser drawer, but you can hang, it's like a cupboard, you know, where you hang your suits, but it's also a drawer. You know what I mean? It was in the movie The Conjuring. That thing was in this garage, right? That same cabinet. And immediately the two youngest got freaked out by it. Little Trey, and of course my son, right? Little Joe. And they were already kind of like creeped out, especially Trey. Trey was like, "This place is creepy, Uncle Joe. Got that Conjuring cabinet in the garage." And I was getting mad because first of all, it's for 2 weeks that we're there. So if you can only imagine how much I spent on this Airbnb, you know what I mean? And now the kids are acting all scared, and they're like, "I can't get a refund, so y'all better just stop being scared." You know what I mean?
Go say your prayers.
Because being scared is going to cost me money, so unscare yourself. All right? So that was the first part of it. That was the first initial scare. Like that was the first time they start feeling weird. So anyways, cut to this annoying fly flying around this house.
There's always
It's
a
just this
fly.
big, I'm telling you, this big giant fly. And it was so gross. And I remember we kept trying to like kill it. We couldn't. It had high ceilings. We could never kill it, but you could hear it flying. Like you knew it was flying around this when you hear the like. So that fly was there. First of all, we're not even thinking haunted house at this point. These are just things that we remembered after the event happened, right?
Right.
So now, so that was just the beginning. That was day one. And that day one hasn't even finished yet. Now we're walking around the house and we're trying to establish whose rooms are going to be what, right? Whose room. Kids, you know how the kids are. They're running around trying to find their room. And the two boys decided.
This is my room. Hold it first.
Yeah, exactly. So the two older boys, Connor and Duncan, decided they're going to sleep together because they're in their teens, and then the younger kids are going to sleep in their room, right? So of course the teens picked the room next to the living room and the kitchen. Duh, right? That's the best room. So they got that room. And then Mona, my cousin, and my niece Amanda, they picked the room way down at the other end, right? Because they wanted to be far away. Whatever. It had a huge. That room was cool. It was way at the other end, and it was away from all the kids. I would have for sure picked that room too. Yeah, because it was away from everybody. So that's where the girls, the women, stay. Now the little boys, which a lot of little boys, right? Like 12, 13, those kids. There was 1, 2. It was Kenny, Christopher. Wait, Kenny. Trey, Joe. God, I can't remember how many little boys
like
were.
Mexicans.
Yeah, you know how we do it. Hold on again.
Oh, is that Winston?
That's Winston. Anyways, they find this room that's hidden behind a secret wall.
What?
Right. So I have the master room, right? And of course, the master room has this wall, right? Like this wall. It's already kind of a weird wall, you know. It just, I can't explain it, but it looked like it was paneled, right? And there was this one big panel with a leather strap hanging out of the wall. You pull the leather strap, and there's leather stripping on this. It's like a door, but it's a wall. There's no door handle. You have to pull the leather strap, and it pulls the wall out. It's like a secret door, right?
Wow.
And there's leather stripping, like big, thick leather stripping that keeps it closed and tight, airtight. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? So you pull the leather strap, and the whole wall just becomes a door, and it opens, and it's a room. It's just this odd room, right? Like this weird bathroom that like I can't even. God, I wish I could explain it, but it's like pebbly, high rock.
You take those pictures?
Man, I ain't taking a picture of that. No, those pictures would be haunted if I took pictures. If I take pictures, I'll throw it away. Because I don't like Satan. Very little. So anyways, they found this room. It has like this pebble, like I can't even explain the texture of this bathroom. It was just like gravelly stone. It was so creepy. But the kids loved it. They're like, "Oh, Uncle Joe, look at this room." They're like, "Oh, can we stay in this room?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can stay in this room." Because if you open the door, that was the wall. That was my room. But I was like, "Well, you guys got to come through my room." And then I noticed that they had a window that also had a door that went to the pool. So they had to enter through the outside. So I go, "You guys are not allowed to enter through my room. You guys have to enter outside. And don't come through my room." They're like, "All right, cool." I go, "You guys promise?" "Yeah." "All right, then you get out of that room. Don't come through the wall." Right? So they all agreed that they were going to go through the pool area. So they take that secret room that's hidden behind this wall. By the way, this house was so oddly, like, everything was like mysteriously built. Like, it didn't look like any of the rooms were originally there. It was like they had this one like half moon living room that looked like it was added on to the original living room. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like a half moon. And then
They didn't have no type of permits for none of this work.
None of it. None of it. And then the floor just sounded hollow. If you walked on it, it was very echoey. So there was no foundation. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you're just walking on top of spirits. So like the half moon wall had chairs, Anjelah.
On
Big,
the wall?
tall velvet chairs along the wall of this half moon wall shaped living room area. And the first thing all of us said, I swear to God, all of us were like, "Looks like they did seances here." Like, literally, because it had that vibe. It had that vibe, right? So anyways, Trey, the youngest one, starts touching things. And we noticed that the way they decorated this place was very like weird decorations. But then you're like, okay, yeah, they probably bought this house in the 80s, and this is their stuff in the 80s, right? So Trey, I go, "Trey, don't touch things. Don't touch things, okay?" Because Trey likes to touch things. So he just starts going through the wooden drawer, and he finds a yo-yo. And he starts doing the yo-yo, and the yo-yo flies across the room. Like, it just breaks. And I get mad, right? I yell at him. I go, "I told you, man, don't touch things that's not yours." Like, you know what I mean? He's like, "It's just a yo-yo, Uncle Joe." And I'm like, "No, man, like, don't touch things just touch your stuff. Don't touch their stuff. Touch your stuff."
Preferably when we're not around. Just
man. Stuff. So I got mad at him. So he had to fix the yo-yo, which, first of all, we still didn't think anything of it. We didn't think about it, right? He takes the yo-yo, he puts it back in this drawer. Then we started noticing, like, the figurines. It was like a glass clown, a painting of a clown, like a lot of kid-themed stuff, right? Then we started going through our rooms, and then we noticed that each room had kid stuff in it, right? So Connor and Duncan's room had a chest, and it had like coloring books and stuff in it, right? Then we went to Mona's room, same thing. They had this treasure chest that had like balls and stuff in it, you know what I mean? Just toys, right? And then you go to my room, and I looked in the closet, and then I opened up the last drawer at the bottom. Baby blanket in that one, right? Still, we don't think anything of it, right? We're just thinking, oh, it's just leftover toys that probably a lot of people that stayed at the Airbnb,
right,
and they just probably compiled a bunch of stuff through the years. That's what I'm thinking, right? It's just the first day, right?
We're on day one.
This is day one. Yeah, this is like fourth hour, right? So immediately, the kids aren't jumping in the pool. I get mad, right? They're like, "Can we go to the beach, Uncle Joe?" And I'm like, "Man, I did not spend all this money, and you guys ain't jumping in this pool. Like, why are you guys?" Because I was getting mad that they were acting weird, because they were genuinely freaked out by the house. Like, they're not feeling the energy in this house. And now I'm like, "Yo, I spent all this money, and I need to get them unfreaked out, right?" So I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad at them because of the way they're acting. You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Hey, we're not going to the beach till you guys jump in this pool." And I forced them to jump in the pool and made them swim. Like, I was so pissed. So I made them jump. Huh? Yeah, I swear. I'm like, "Yo, you better act like you're enjoying this place. And stop acting like, you're scared." Like, they kept acting like they were creeped out by the house. But anyways, moving forward, that night, the kids decide to stay home, and then the adults want to go grab a drink, right? So it's me, Mona, and then I forgot who else. I think one of the kids. I think Amanda or somebody, one of the older kids. We decide to go and grab a drink, right? And let the kids chill at home. So anyways, we have a drink, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, we go back to the house, okay? Day's done, right? Next day we wake up and we just do stuff. We hike. I'm sorry, this is a long story, okay? But it's going to pick up in a second. We go, let's just make it up. We went hiking, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
And then we found a kadama stand. You know those kadamas?
No.
It's that little wooden stick where a ball with a string is attached to it, and you flip it and you try and land it on top of the thing. Yeah. And all the kids were addicted to it. So I bought all of them kadamas. All of them, right? Because I'm a great uncle. Everyone gets a kadama. I was like Oprah. Everyone gets a kadama. You get a kadama. You get a kadama. They all got it. And of course, Trey, like always, Trey buys the biggest kadama. The one that's in the big box. It's the massive kadama, right? Everyone else got the regular kadama. Trey wants the big one. I'm like, all right, Trey, get the big kadama. Mind you, these are all brand new kadamas, right? Still in the box, right? All the kids are playing with their kadamas. Now we go back to the house, right? Literally, they start playing with the kadamas in the house. Trey takes his out of the box, flips it one time, and the ball flies across the room, right? Just comes right off the string. And I yell at Trey again. I'm like, Trey. He goes, Uncle Joe, it just came off. It just came off, Uncle Joe. Like you know what I mean? I felt bad. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's brand new. I go, it's the way you're playing with it. Like I'm not even like being nice. You know what I mean?
Trey,
like,
don't touch your stuff in the room.
Yeah, I'm getting mad at Trey. But like, now that I think about it, I feel like the energy in that house made me mean. Because I'm really not like that. You know what I mean? You know how I am.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I got mad at Trey. Like, Trey, come on, man. He's like, Uncle Joe, all he did was flip it. I'm like, yeah, but you're probably like swinging it. He's like, no, I was just flipping it. So anyways, he had to go grab the ball. He had to restring it, which is crazy because he just took it out of the box. We just bought that thing. Fast forward to the story. So we go to a story where Connor says that he was asleep, right? And he goes, Uncle Joe, I heard someone walk down the hallway when you guys went and got something to drink. When you guys went and had a drink. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, I thought you guys came home and I said your names and no one answered. Then I looked out into the hallway and there was no one. I get chills right now talking about it. And he goes, and there was nobody. And I go, are you serious right now? He goes, yeah. He goes, I thought you guys came home, but you guys weren't home. And then it sounded like someone was jiggling the doorknob. And we thought that was you, but you guys haven't came home yet. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyways, Duncan says the same thing, that he heard the same thing. And I'm like, all right. So now I'm like, okay, something's wrong. But now I'm still trying to ignore it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe
Too much
it's
money
just like, because I got Anjelah, I had so much money in this Airbnb, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't. I'm like one, I'm believing them, but two, I'm also like, in my head, I'm like, okay, now they're already creeped out because they got creeped out when we got here, and now they're acting on their feelings, and I'm just being like, the dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking to myself, there's no way out of this. How do I return this? Hey, your house is haunted.
Yeah.
Can I get my money back? They're like,
yeah.
We're not talking about one day. If you could just imagine how much a 5-bedroom house is in Hawaii in the summer for 2 weeks per day, you do the math, how much I invested, right? So I was like, all right, you guys, let's just like, maybe it's in your head. Maybe it wasn't really blah, blah, blah. Like, let's just play it by whatever ear. Anyways, cut to that night, right? Am I telling the story right? Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah, I am. If I jump around, it doesn't matter. It's just we were only in this place for 2.5 days, so it doesn't really matter. So it doesn't matter when the events happened. So anyways, and I haven't told this story in a while, but these events all happened. Okay. So we ended up having game night, right? We had game night where it's taboo, right? Taboo? What's the other one? What's the other? No, the other one where you get a word. Anyway, we'll say taboo. Who gives a crap, right? It doesn't matter. It's categories. So anyways, it's all of us, right? We're in groups or whatever. And Trey gets into a fight with the boys, his two older brothers, right? A little verbal confrontation, right? And I'm like, I go, I take the boy side and I'm like, hey, Trey, calm down. Because the way he's coming at his brothers was a little aggressive. And mind you, Trey's very small, all right? But he's also very, he's a tough kid. He'll fight anybody. He doesn't care.
He'll throw a yo-yo at you from across the room.
He's the right cousin to have in your family. Let's just say that, okay? Let's just say he's taking jiu-jitsu classes and I'm the sponsor for for obvious reasons. Let's just say he's going to be working for his uncle pretty soon.
You?
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Let's just say you don't want to mess with. There's always a family member in the Filipino family where you don't want to mess with that particular family member.
You don't want to mess with that Tito.
That's the one. You don't want to mess with Tito Trey in a few years.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyways, Trey is he's mouthing off his brothers. I'm like, hey, chill, Trey. Calm down. It's just a game, right? And I got Cheez-Its, and I'm sitting like this, and I'm eating my Cheez-Its. Little Joe sitting right next to me. And I look at Trey. I'm telling you, Anjelah, he's looking at my box of Cheez-Its, but he's not looking at my box of Cheez-Its. He's looking he's looking through that box.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man, this shit is crazy. And it's kind of like just a stare through the box. And he's just like huffing, but it's a part of Trey I've never seen before. And he's just looking through the box like that. And he's mad, right? And I remember tapping little Joe, my son, and I'm like, look at Trey, right? But laughing. I'm laughing, which is also like an evil energy. You know what I mean? Because why would I want to
this?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this moment of my little nephew angry. You know what I mean?
So ugly, yeah.
And it was all ugly. I'm telling you, this game, this categories or taboo game was very, very evil. Very evil. Is a negative energy. We're not that kind of family. We love to laugh. We you know what I mean? This game was weird. And so just Trey's just looking through the box. And then I tap little Joe. I'm like, look at Trey. And I'm laughing like laughing. And then little Joe starts laughing because the way he's looking at the box, just he's doing that, right? And then anyways, we keep playing, and I get mad at Duncan because the way he's playing is just like this, like he's not interested in the game. Duncan's the older brother, right?
Yeah.
So I yell at Duncan. I go, hey man, you can go sit in the living room. You know what I mean? Go get out. We don't need you here. No one asked you to play, bro. So just go. I'm throwing this attitude, and now that I say it, that's not me. I would never be like that. But it was that energy in that room, which is. Oh, by the way, we're playing in that seance room. I swear, that's the only place you could play. It was literally the room where you had a table, had all these chairs. It was creepy. So, anyways, we're playing in that room, and so, anyways, I get mad at Duncan, and Duncan leaves. Duncan goes and lays on the couch. So I got rid of him, right? So I was happy. I was talking crap to Duncan, you know what I mean? Just being really snotty to him. And then we keep playing. Trey's still mad, right? And then eventually Duncan comes back, right? And then I'm like, exactly, you want to come back, right? Because it's fun. It was something about him saying that the game's nerdy or something like that. And I told him to leave. And then you realize that we were having fun again. And then he comes back. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things. And so he comes back, and then we start playing again. He gets into another fight with Trey, right? Trey and Connor. They get into a fight. Trey jumps up. Anjelah, this is the creepiest part. And he goes, and I've seen them fight little Trey before, right? Trey's 11. I think he's 11 here. And I've seen Trey mouth off at his older brothers before. And he goes, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. And then they were like, we'll kick your ass, Trey. Just shut up. We'll kick your ass, right? Just shut up. He goes, oh, yeah? Well, I'll wait till you guys are asleep, and then I'll kill you. And then I go, Trey, shut up. You don't talk like that. I forgot how I said it, but I was just like, don't talk like that. That's not even funny. You don't say stuff like that. Hold on. Hold on. The army's flying over my head right now. Hold on, Hercules, the chopper is flying over. It's not like I'm trying to tell a story. All right, so I look at Trey and I'm like, hey, you don't talk like that. You don't ever talk like that. Don't ever make threats like that. Like, it's what, if you want to fight, then yeah, then you say fighting words, but you don't say stuff like that. Where you're gonna kill and all. He goes, I don't care, Uncle Joe. And then they were like, and then of course the two boys were, you know, and what is it like, you know, egging him on, right?
Yeah.
And then they're, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I dare you, Trey, do that. Do it while I'm asleep. He goes, yeah, I'll grab a knife. I'll stab you. I'll kill you. I go, hey, stop, Trey. And then he sits back down. He's just looking like that again. And it was weird, man. And I was just like, okay, this game's done, right? We're done. Everyone go to bed. It's done, right? So that night was done. So we all go to bed, and then I'm laying in the bed, right? And if I can just explain my room, I can't because it's just a weird room. But it had this huge wall, right? A wall, the wall looking at the pool. It was cool when the curtains were open because you could see the pool. It was kind of a cool house. You got to remember, this house was built like 70s, 80s. So if you can imagine that style of a house, you know what I mean? Look at Winston. So cute. Anyways, back to me. I have the ADD. All right, this has not, I'm not possessed now. So
that's to be determined.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. So anyways, I'm in my room. And it's late. It's like, I don't know what time it is, but it's late. It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And you know me, I can't sleep. I'm up all night. And I'm just laying there, right? I close those curtains, right? And I think this is the first time I ever noticed the room with the curtains closed. So dark. Like sticking your hand out to walk dark, right? And I remember closing, I'm reaching out and I'm like, God, it's dark in here, right? And I lay down, and I just remember just how dark it was. It was an eerie dark, right? I've never been in a room where it's pitch black, right? So I'm just laying in the bed, and then I'm going through Instagram, going through, you know, just doing my thing on Insta, you know, just going through that wormhole, and then I hear the doorknob go, just like what Connor and Duncan said. So I get up, and I'm thinking it's the boys trying to go through my room to get to their room because they don't want to go outside. I'm like, go ahead and come in. And mind you, this doorknob was, it was kind of like broken, but not broken. It's kind of like, you ever see a door handle that's kind of hanging on, but you can still turn it open? Well, it was that kind of a doorknob where it was barely hanging on. You have to kind of like manipulate it, like lift it up and bring it down and then twist it and it'll open, right? So I was doing that. I mean, that's how you open it. That's what I'm hearing. Like someone's trying to lift it up and twist it. And so I just go, come on in. Like, who is it?
You invited it in?
No. I thought it was one of the kids trying to get to the room.
I know.
So I was like, just come through, because I knew that they didn't want to go through the outside, you know what I mean, to get to their room. So I'm just thinking one of them is probably in the house and they're trying to come through the room. I go, just come in. Nothing. I'm like, all right. And then it happens again. I'm like, what the?
Damn you, Trey.
Fuck? No, now I'm like tripping. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry. What the heck? I'm freaking out. So I stand up and I stand right next to the door and I'm looking at it. Right. And I stand there, Angela, I stand there for like 5-10 minutes, right? And nothing. I'm like, whatever. So I walk to the bathroom, and the girl I was dating at the time had a brush. And the dog something chewed up this brush that she had. And it's kind of like a spike. So it looked like a wooden knife, right? And I'm just like freaking out because, I don't know, is someone in this house or what, right? So I just grab it. And I stand by the door and I'm looking at it. I'm telling you, Angela, someone was jiggling that nut.
Use
right?
my brush
I'm about to comb this person's hair. Whatever. Right? And I'm going to comb their hair to death. Right? So anyway, I was just standing there and I'm just like, oh. And I was standing there for a minute. Nothing. Turn off the light again. Can't find my bed. It's so black. It's so dark. I'm reaching for stuff. Finally get back to bed. Okay. So I'm laying there. And then I hear, okay, in the living room, there's this glass table. It's a glass table in the living room, right? And I hear, you ever hear a noise in the house and you know where that's coming from? Like you can just make it out in your head wherever the noise is, right? I hear. I wish I can make the sound, but I'll take my glasses because my thing is glass here, and it sounded like this.
Yeah.
Because there was a glass table, right? And it's the glass table in the living room, and it happened 3 times, and every time it would tap 3 times, it would go like this. Now I'm freaking out, right? Because one, I know that that's the table. That's not a window. That's not someone tapping on the window. That's that dining table. That's that glass dining table, right? Or whatever in the living room. It's that it's that glass table. I know that's where it's coming from, and it came right after the jiggling of the knobs, right? I text the boys, "Are you in the living room?" Right? Goes no response. I text again, "Are you in the living room?" No response. Right? I text them. I text Connor and Duncan at the same nothing. They're not responding. All right, it's not them. Now, about 10 minutes later, the dishes in the sink, which they didn't clean, chatter. Like I could tell that it like something moved the dishes and they fell in the sink, right? Now I'm sitting straight up in the bed. I'm like, God dang it. Oh. Now I call Mona, right? Because Mona's room is right next to the kitchen. I call Mona, goes right to voicemail, doesn't even ring, right? Just goes straight to voicemail. I call Amanda, straight to voicemail, doesn't even pick up the phone, doesn't even ring. So now I'm like, damn it, dude. Now I'm like, okay, this place is haunted. Like I've already come to an agreement, house is haunted. I'm gonna stay up, right? After already hearing the stories, I'm just gonna stay up. Everyone's asleep. I'll stay up. I'll stay up till 6 a.m. When they start waking up, then I'll sleep. So I stayed up as long as I could, man. And I think I stayed up till about 4:30 in the morning. Nothing's happening, but I'm staying up. I'm going through, just trying to look at anything on Instagram or whatever, just to stay up, right?
At no point did you get out and go check the kitchen?
Hell no!
You
Obviously, this ghost doesn't know how to open the door, so I'm safe.
You weren't the one guy in the movie that's like, hello? Who's out there?
No, that ain't me. I'm underneath the covers going, I hope no one's out there. Just take the kids, man.
They can't see me.
Bruh, it gets worse.
Oh my God.
So now I'm staying up, right? It's about 4:30 in the morning, and my eyes are getting heavy. And then finally, I just doze off. I literally fall asleep on the wall and go like this, right? The minute that happens, Anjelah, the wall to my left shakes, right? The wall, the secret wall with the leather door handle. And let me just tell you, you know how thick a wall is, right?
Yeah.
A wall between 2 rooms is about what? About yay thick, about 3 inches wide, right?
Yeah.
And there's weather stripping. So when you close it, it makes like a vacuum seal, like,
yes,
right? When you close it, it's like, it's firm. No wind comes in and out from, right? You know what I mean? You have to really pull this leather strap to open this door. So right when I close my eyes, I swear to God, the wall shakes like an earthquake. Door opens.
No!
Yeah, I just got chills saying it. The girl that I'm with wakes up, looks at the wall, doesn't even look at me. She wakes up and looks right at the wall, and she goes, "What's going on?" And I go, "Joe, Trey," and I get up, I walk, and I look into the room where they're sleeping, and they're all asleep, like dead asleep. Door completely open. I get back in the bed, and I go, "We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Just go to sleep. I'm going to stay up." And I stayed up until about 6 o'clock in the morning, until the sun started coming up. And then I went to lunch with her and Mona, and then I told them what happened. And I go, I don't know what to do. I told Mona, I don't know what to do. I have so much money into this house. It's haunted. It's haunted. And I don't know what to do right now. You know what I mean? Like, what do we do? So Mona goes, let's talk to the kids. Let's try and get them all to like maybe sleep in the same room. And it was crazy. Like literally, this is us. adults talking like this about a house. How we have to like group all the kids into one room, and maybe the spirit won't mess with us if we know about it and we're prepared for it. And so anyways, we go home, and that's what happens. All the boys go into one room. Mona and Mandy stay in her room, and then I stayed in my room. But I told the boys, you can leave that door open. Leave the door open. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, don't close that door, that wall door, and
Right.
you know, I'll keep an eye on you guys. Let's all go to sleep. And we all agreed, like, okay, cool. We got this, Uncle Joe. We're good. You know, everything's good. We're all like, our energy is different now. We go, you know, we go to the beach. We're having fun, right? And then we have to go home. And literally the minute we got home, everyone was like, man, we don't want to go to sleep yet, Uncle Joe. Like, no one wanted to go to sleep. And I'm like, man, I go, it's all good now, because it was different. You know, before, like, we all didn't know, and now it's cool because now we all do know, and we're prepared. It's not going to mess with us if there's 5, 6 boys in one room and the door's open and I'm in this room. Like, it ain't going to mess with us. So we were like, all right, cool, Uncle Joe. So we all go to sleep. I swear to God, Anjelah, the minute we all fall asleep, and I made sure that I was the last one to fall asleep, right? The minute everyone falls asleep, chaos in that room again. The secret room.
Are all the boys
screaming.
in the secret room?
We're all the boys went into that room, but I didn't let them close that door. I told them to leave it open, right? The one with the leather strap, that wall door, leave it open. That way I can keep an eye on you guys. And they were like, all right. So they left that open. And the minute I fell asleep, I made sure I was the last one. The minute I fell asleep, screaming, Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe, oh my God, Uncle Joe, get over here. I jump out of bed, my heart's pounding. I look through the door, and Trey is literally in full-on convulsion. Eyes fully dilated, black eyes. His eye pupils are fully dilated. Foam coming out of his mouth.
No.
And I dated this one girl a long time ago, right? Like, she had a seizure in front of me. So we were on it, you know, we went out to eat, and she had a full-on seizure in front of me. So I know what a seizure looks like, right? Like, literally hands-on. You become stiff as a board, right? Stiff as a board. All your face muscles tighten up. You start, the reason why people that have seizures start to bleed is because they chew on their tongue. So their tongue gets all ripped up and blood starts coming out. That's why people that have seizures, that's what happens. So I know what a seizure looks like. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I remember Jennifer having a seizure in front of me, and she was stiff as a board and all that. Trey was not stiff as a board.
This one, no seizure.
I'm telling you, when you watch those movies about possession, you understand why they over-exaggerate a little bit, right? They embellish. But all those things are true. When they say the eyes are black, you ever see like the possession when their eyes are black? Trey's eyes were fully dilated, wide open, convulsing with his mouth open.
Standing up.
Muscles were loose. Like, he wasn't like, oh, his mouth was wide open, just and just foam coming out of his mouth. Body limp, not stiff, limp body, because I was grabbing him, trying to like wake him, like Trey, are you okay? And he's just and then all of a sudden I yell at who did I yell at? Duncan, go get your mother. Runs to get his mom all the way to the other house. He's still like convulsing, and then finally his mom comes into the room, and she kneels in front of him, and then all of a sudden he's like, and then he stops, and he's breathing like, and then Mona's like, are you okay, baby Trey? Your mommy's here. And she's touching me, and then he looks at her, and he's just like, it's so scared. The way he looks at her, he's just, he goes, who are you? Who are you? And she's like, it's your mommy. You're okay, Trey? You're okay. He's like, who are you? It's your mommy. And he goes, I'm cold. And then his arm starts reaching for the sheets, but he's not even looking for the sheets. It's just his arm reaching, right? And then she grabs his blanket and puts it over him. He's like, I'm cold. And then finally he like closes his eyes, and then he opens his eyes back up. And I just look at Mona and go, holy shit. like we both knew, like, you know what I mean? We called, oh my God, I'm not even done with this story. We called 911.
Oh, wow.
And right away, we both looked at each other like we just saw possession, right?
Yeah.
We knew that wasn't a seizure. And we're freaking out. And he doesn't know what's going on. He's completely blacked out, right? And then we call we call 911. And dispatch tells Duncan, because Duncan calls 911, they're on their way. And that was like at the beginning when he started having the possession.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire department's still not there. And I'm like, where are they? Because our house is easy. It's right off of like the main strip. You know what I mean? We're in Oahu this time. So right at the end where the zoo is, you know what I mean? At the end.
Yeah.
You know where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get past that zoo, the last hotel at the end, and then all of a sudden it's like residential. Yeah. Our house is right there at the end where the park is. Like it's a very popular residential area. And if you're a local,
there's a fire station right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. And it's like, what are you talking about? Because 911 dispatch kept calling Duncan and going, you're telling us the wrong address. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I started getting mad. I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? I go, that is the address right there, dude. That's the address. And then he goes, Uncle Joe, they said they can't find it. They said that they're driving around. And I'm like, give me the phone. I get on the phone. I go, I gave her the address. She goes, yes, they're standing out front of your house right now. I go, no, they're not. I'm in front of the house right now. They're not in front of the house. They go, well, they don't understand because this is the address you gave. I go, that's the exact address. This is the address I typed it in my GPS. I'm right here. I'm standing in front of my house right now. I'm looking at the street sign. They go, well, tell you what, we'll call you right back. They hang up the phone. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm standing there outside the house looking for a fire department. Literally, you can see the beach to my left. You can see the park. It's a very popular area. You know what I mean? And I'm standing there. And then finally the fire truck rolls up. And I'm like, what? Like all casual too. And then I run up to the
right?
Yeah. I run up to him and I'm like, oh my God, thank you guys so much. He's in the room and he goes, we'll be right there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like it was only an emergency call, 11-year-old kid having a seizure. But yeah, I'll be calm. And you guys were lost for 15 minutes. I just spoke to dispatch. I'm not going to get mad, but in my head, I'm like, seriously? Is that how you guys are acting? They get out of the car, out of the fire truck. They go to the back, slowly put their stuff on. And I'm just like looking at them. I look at like Duncan. I'm like, what?
Duncan,
finally, they start walking in casual. They start walking in casual. And they walk to the back of the room. They look at him. They go, how are you? They ask him how old he is, blah, blah, blah. You know, ask him like general questions, see where his mental is. And then they go, well, you want to walk out? And I'm like, walk out? I'm like, put him in a, like, what did they call it? Gurney? Put him in something. Like, this kid just had a full-blown seizure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They walked him out, right? Then they stick him in the ambulance, and he's sitting there. And I just look at Mona, and I go, he's not going to the hospital with these guys. I go, we'll take him. And then and then Mona agreed. She's like, yeah, we'll take him. And then I looked at the whatever they're called, the firemen, and I just go, hey man, just give me Trey. We'll take him to the hospital. And he goes, all right, well, just make sure you take him tonight. In my head, I'm like, yeah, no shit. I'll do it a lot quicker than you guys for no money. Thank you very little. Go get lost somewhere. And then they take off. And I swear to God, Anjelah, I think those firemen were ghosts.
No way.
I really feel like they were, and me and Mona talk about it all the time. They were either ghosts or they were possessed or something. Like, I think the spirit got to those firemen or something, because that was not normal. It was, how are you guys lost? That's your district. Like, fire, like, they know, like, this house was such a popular, like, how do you not know this house? You know what I mean? Like, how are you lost? It was such an easy address. Like, it's literally on the corner of this street, these two streets. It was right there. Yeah. Like when I put it in my GPS, I pulled right up to this house. Like, what are you talking about? You live here. I don't live here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, so me and Mona were just like,
what if they were ghosts? Ghost firemen.
They were.
Okay. Or what if they know that house is haunted and they get called there?
We said
all
that
the time?
too. We said the same. I just got chills when you said that. I swear to God, I just got chills because we said the same thing. Mona and I go, I bet you they get calls to this house all the time. Swear, man.
What
And
the
then,
hell with that Airbnb? Send me the link.
dude, I want to take you to that house because the house is freaky. So, anyways, we take this is what I do. I get Trey. I put Trey in the car.
Yeah.
We have one of the kids sit with Trey, and I look at all the other kids. I go, "We're not coming back. Everyone, grab your stuff. You got 5 minutes to grab all your stuff." They run in. They grab all their stuff. We go into the car. Now, first of all, Anjelah, there's no way I could lie about this story. Because for me to make that kind of a decision after this, 2.5 days, and I still have,
Right.
I don't know, 12 more days left on my contract that paid for, like deposit, everything paid for. I'm not getting this back. So for me to make a decision like that is
Right.
not to just have a cute story to tell
Yeah,
10 years
yeah.
down the road. We're legitimately scared, all of us. Like even I, like we got to get out of here. This house is haunted. And I remember calling Gemma that night going, I don't know what you can do for us, Gemma, but if you can call the owner of this house and just tell him the truth that we think that the place is haunted and we have to find somewhere else to sleep. If you could, and I even go, if you could just give us like a quarter of the deposit back so I can go get a hotel or something because we can't sleep in this house. And so we go to the hospital, CAT scan, all that stuff. And then the doctor is like, well, has he had seizures before? And right when he said seizures, I looked at Mona, I go, let's just go. Like, it's not a seizure. And he goes,
Yeah.
well, I'll give you a prescription for seizure medicine. So on the way back, and he gave us a prescription. As we left, I go, just throw that away, Mona. Like, he doesn't have that wasn't a seizure. He doesn't need seizure medicine.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go to church.
Yeah.
And then we went to a diner, and we literally, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I can't remember. And we were up all night. All the kids, imagine all the kids, right? Just having all these kids. And we ate at this diner because none of us slept. And then we all fell asleep at this diner. And then, and the waitress, I know. And I remember the waitress was like, hey, are you guys okay? And I go, can you just let these kids sleep? Because we went through a lot. And we ended up sleeping there until my sister could find a place for us to go. I think she found a place at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. It was so bad. I might be exaggerating. It might have been 11. Whatever. It was the whole night at this diner is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? And their bags and everything. You know what I mean? And then we call Mona's mom, Auntie Evelyn. And of course we tell her the story. And of course, you know, you tell an old Filipino woman, you know, what happened. They're 100% like, yes, that house is haunted. And she's like, did you grab anything from the house?
Oh no.
And we like, yeah, we grabbed everything. And she goes, is there anything that house owns? Because if you grabbed it, you need to bring it back.
Oh.
And then we realized that we grabbed towels. Because when we left the house, we wrapped Trey up in a towel. And it was the house towels. And she goes, you need to bring those towels back. And you need to apologize to the house. So me, Amanda, Duncan.
Apologize to me.
Yeah. And we went back to the house. Oh, we finally got a hotel. My sister got us a hotel. And mind you, the whole island was sold out. Thank God I was a little bit, I wasn't as big as I am now, but a few people knew who I was in Hawaii back then, so thank God.
You weren't selling out 26 shows at the arena yet.
Yeah, not yet. But thank God people did recognize me at this point because the girl front desk was going, "Oh, you're JoKoy," and I'm like, yeah. And I go, and she goes, "Unfortunately, we only have one true." I go, we and I go, I told you that. I told her, I go, the Airbnb that we had, we think is haunted, and we can't go back to this house. Can you just help us? I know it sounds like I'm making a story, and I swear to God, she's like, all right. And she went and got her manager and everything, got us. I wish I remember the name. It's so sad story. But She went and got the manager, and all they could squeeze us was a suite with an adjoining bedroom. And there was like nine of us or whatever. Wow. And that's where we slept. And I swear to God, Angela, the energy with all these kids was on another level. Like we were so happy. No fights, no nothing, playing. And all in this room, just in this room together. Like, if you can imagine, like, one room with 9 people in it, but so much better than that house. Like, it was so much more fun. And then, and then me, Amanda, Duncan, and Mona had to drive back to that house and return the towels. Because my aunt said, don't bring anything back that house owns because, you're taking it. So we had to go back. She told us to apologize. And then ask for permission to look for our stuff, and then we'll leave. And we apologize again, and that's the first thing we did. Right when we opened the door, we apologized. We said we're sorry. We're just gonna look for a few of our things. We think we left some stuff here. We grabbed some towels. We're so sorry. These are yours. We folded it. We put it on. I swear to God, it was crazy. I got 2 more things. I'm done with this story.
Okay.
When I go to Hawaii, I don't wear anything but a black V-neck, which is what I wear anyways.
Yeah.
And black swim trunks, and then sometimes maybe some nice shorts if we go out to eat. But my bag, I bring a duffel bag to Hawaii. I don't care if it's 12 days or 30 days. My duffel bag has like 4 things in it. Shoes for like hiking or whatever. Flip-flops, slipper. Some, swim trunks, nice shorts, and about 4 V-necks. That's all I ever packed. Ask anybody. I don't have anything on that plane. All I wanted were my Nikes because I left my Nikes there. We could not find those Nikes. And all 4 of us, they all grabbed their stuff. And I go, I swear to God, I left these Nikes in the closet. And that's the only reason why I went to my room. Because I remember I went to the hospital with my slippers on. And I wanted to grab my Nike. I left them there. And we couldn't find them. Gone. So.
Yo, there is some ghost dripping.
Hold on. I got 2 more things to tell you about. You ready? That fly followed us out the house.
No.
When we put Trey in the car, that fly came to us to the car. That fly was with us the whole time. And when we took Trey to that car, that fly, I remember all of us were like, damn fly. Like we said that. And it followed us to the car. And then my shoes were missing. Like the craziest, I couldn't believe it. Like kept my shoes, man. So that's it right there. That's the story.
I guarantee you, every person who's rented that house after you, and
100%
telling this story, they're like, then there was this yo-yo. It flew across the room.
Yep.
Then there were these Nikes in this closet. Now these Nike, I guarantee you, your Nikes are now
right in that story.
Comes there.
You know what else? I forgot to tell you this part of the story. The next day we found a church, right? And we asked the priest there to, we told him the story about Trey. Mm. And we go, is there a prayer or something that you can give Trey? And he opened up, the Bible and there was something that he read and did a prayer for Trey. And then he got some holy water and he was, he put it on Trey. Here's the freaky part. I'm telling you, when you watch those movies, like now when I watch those movies, I see what they're doing, right? They
Shout out to Lil Rel who just said what up. Go ahead.
Oh, that's so. Oh, is he listening? So This is why when you watch those horror movies and you hear like my story, I'll see it in any movie that has to do with possession. Everything that I see in those kind of movies happen to us, right? Yeah, they're exaggerated, but it's the same story, right? When Trey when he was doing the prayer on him and the 2 boys were with him, when he was doing it, they were laughing. And I was so mad.
The boys were laughing?
They were like laughing, but they said they were joking with each other. But in that like, you know what I mean? Like in that situation, when, especially in front of like just the respect of the,
right.
of a priest doing something like that, that's not the time to act like that. And I really feel like that spirit was still there when he was doing that.
And they know better.
He was mocking him. He was mocking him. and Trey was laughing, and I remember saying something to him in the car, and he goes, "No, it's just the Duncan made this look," and we all started laughing, and I was like, "No, that wasn't them. It was still there. It was still there, man. That spirit was still there when that was happening."
Bro.
Yeah, it's freaky, man. We still talk about it, and I've always said this. I've always said, I go, look, this will always be our story. And when you tell this story, like, people will always like, oh, whatever, who cares? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It happened, man. That, like, I was one of those guys that didn't believe in, ghost or afterlife or whatever. Man, 100%. It's real. And Hawaii's a very sacred island, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when they're those people are one with that island. So the spirits live there. They live there forever. So, when we came in there and started digging up stuff, some sacred burial grounds, and you know what I mean? We pissed off a lot of people there.
2 follow-up questions I have. 1, did you get any of your money back?
No.
They want to give you no money back?
Nothing. They didn't give us anything. And we asked twice.
Their link. I'm going to send it to JoKoy. Don't worry. JoKoy will get on it. She will get you some money back because JoKoy don't play no games.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no way. They felt sorry for us, but they were like, there's nothing we can do, man. Like,
Okay.
and they kept saying, like, this house could have been rented out, because we literally got that house. There was only like a few Airbnbs that would do that far. And I rented that thing like 8 months in advance. So I get it. You know what I mean?
Second follow-up question. Have you or your sister gone on to see if they're still renting that house?
Yeah, we always look.
And they are.
We always look. And sometimes they try and sell it and it never sells. And yeah, it's crazy.
That's insane. I feel like
I'll tell my cousin Mona to give you the address.
Oh my god.
Because we always look it up.
Please.
Yeah, I do want to go there with a film crew or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to see
it's
if
creepy,
other
man.
people have documented stories from that house. Like, try Googling that address and like haunted whatever and see if somebody else has posted about it.
Yeah, I just kind of stay away from that. I don't want to revisit
Give me
it.
the address.
But I do want to go there, maybe with a film crew or something. I don't know, but
Sure.
I would hate to go there by myself or.
Oh my god,
You know what? Oh, you want to hear what's crazy? Is my son was I think my son was 11 or I can't remember how old he was, but we just went to Hawaii last year, and we're riding around on scooters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, you got to remember, my son was 11 when this happened, right?
Yeah.
And we're riding around on scooters, and all of a sudden, we pass the street, and my son goes, "That's where the house is, huh, Dad?" That's creepy.
Ugh.
That's creepy. For an
Bro.
11-year-old to remember that means it's forever been in his brain. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's not like you can't like recognize the street, but you can feel that presence over there. Like you knew it was over there. And we were just riding on the scooters, like just riding around, Hawaii, and we were going down this one street, and he goes, "Dad, that's where the house is, huh?" I go, "Yup, that's exactly where it is." So for him to even feel that and sense that it's real.
Bro, thank you for sharing this story and reliving it for me. Because like you said, you haven't shared the story in a very long time. So I'm sure it like brings back memories and stuff like that. So I just bless you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Joseph. Jokes.
The ghost is there again. Love you.
I love you so much. Thank you for sharing this story. Listen, I had like 7 people waiting their turn to tell their story. I don't know if they're still online, but I'll check right now to see if anybody else wants to share their story. But Joseph, this was amazing. Thank you for sharing. Everybody for listening. This has been incredible. I'm going to try to save it right now. And I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mahalo.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. You guys, that was insane. That was, I remember he told me that story years ago. And I don't remember all them details, but that was insane. So right now, we are going to, I have a few more people that left me comments with crazy, crazy stories. So I'm going to try to bring them on here, see if they're still on, and so we can hear their stories. And hopefully, I don't think Instagram's going to kick me off because we're already at.
I've got some choices, or do you want to read
Okay,
them
yeah,
off?
let me see.
Well, I mean, Nance Kiss My Ass, Call Me Up sounds really good.
What?
So that's her name, and she says she has a true ghost story. Then there's Case 19, and then Crazy Chick 791 says she works at a mental facility that's been there since the 1800s, and ghosts are my real work.
Can you
every
ask
single day.
Jackie, because Jackie made a list of people.
Yeah, no, I've got the list.
This is from her list.
That's
This is from Jackie's list. Okay, so
the top one is
the mental facility one.
The one from Cambodia says he doesn't play. He's got real ones. It's the very first one.
Okay, I feel like I want to do this mental facility that has been there since the 1800s. This person works there?
Yes.
Okay. How are you guys feeling about a mental facility story? Are we ready for that? Okay. Hold on. Let me look her up. Crazy. I don't think she's on anymore. Her name's not popping up. Okay. So, mental facility lady is not on anymore. Bye. Some people are saying they're on here.
Paranormal investigator, and she's on right now.
Who is?
Sydney Sin.
Sydney?
Sydney
Is a
Sin.
paranormal investigator?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check. How do you spell that?
How do you spell that? SIDNEY.
S-I-D.
_Sin.
It's not coming on. Is she still on?
SIDNEY. Yeah, she just texted Yuki.
Underscore. What?
SIN. SIDNEY _Sin. She's a paranormal investigator.
Yeah, she's not coming up. That's strange. Ooh, creepy. She's not coming up.
Try the one from Cambodia at the top. You want to read his name out? He's the very first one.
Okay. Request me to go live if you're on here, Sydney. I'm here with a story from a mental facility. Oh, there you are, Crazy. I tried to go live with Crazy Chick something.
Drew
Okay,
Mama.
we got her.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
So you work at a mental facility?
Yes.
How long have you worked there?
Almost 11 years.
What's your name so I don't have to call you Crazy Chick?
My name is Laura.
Laura. Okay, Laura. You work at a mental facility for 11 years. Now, pick one of your craziest stories. Try to cut out unnecessary details because we're running out of time here. But I would love to hear one of your mental facility stories.
Okay, so when I first started, I heard that there was a story about a new hire that went to go work on one of the units, and she was lost. And she ended up finding a janitor who she asked him, okay, where's this area? And he told her, and she was like, okay, well, I'm glad because I'm lost. And so she goes to her area. Well, she was like, I'm so glad I talked to this janitor, who directed me as to where I should go. And they were like, well, where's the janitor? What did he look like? Oh, he looked like this. He was a black male adult, and he was an older guy. And she decided to go and describe him. And they said, you can't be right because that janitor died like years ago. They're like, that janitor died years ago. She was like, no, I just talked to him. They're like, no, I just talked to him. And she goes, they said, no, They said, no, that janitor died a long time ago.
Oh, hell no. Were you there that day?
No, I wasn't there that day. It was after I had got there. But I've heard so many stories about people looking at old buildings that have been there, because the facility's been there since the 1800s.
Wow.
So I've heard stories about people being there dressed in specific wear, like a red dress or this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have seen people, they have seen the ghosts of people that have been there.
That is insane.
Yeah. And
I've always wanted to like tour like an old abandoned like mental facility, not a current one, but like old school, because that's what you see in like the ghost hunting shows. And okay, thank you. But thank you so much for sharing your story.
yeah, no, there's so many stories that I've heard about, you know, people seeing different ghosts. People, I have a friend who can see ghosts, and she's seen them like on the ramp of where the building that I work, and she's looking at the camera. She's like, oh yeah, I see someone standing out there right now. And I was like, oh my God. There's like toilets that flush out of nowhere. There's lights that come on out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate you. And we're going to go answer another call now. Thank
Okay,
you. Good
well,
luck
thank
going
you.
to work tomorrow or whenever you go.
Thank you. Good luck.
I
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, you guys. Butterfly Girl 408. Let's hear your story. Did you request me, Butterfly Girl? I hope you did. Oh, Sydney's back on. Sydney, we're gonna okay, Butterfly Girl is not coming up.
She's the investigator.
Let's go with Sydney. Okay, we're gonna go with Sydney, and then Butterfly Girl, you're next.
Oh my God, hi.
Sydney.
Hi.
Oh my God, hi.
Hi. I saw you for the first time in 2006 at the Shoreline Comedy Jam. I was working there and I love you.
Thank you for coming to see me at the Shoreline in 2006, and thank you for joining my live today. Now, you are a paranormal investigator?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about a little over a year now.
Okay, so pick one of your craziest stories that you have. Cut the fat, cut the details that we don't need. Give us the juicy goods. Tell us what happened. Where were you? Tell us everything.
Okay, so Virginia City last year, tiny little old mining town, super haunted. I have never been in a place where I have felt so many eyes on me from nobody there. So we were in this little chapel. We were doing overnight investigations. And I was in this chapel, and somebody, have you ever seen someone using dowsing rods?
No, what is that?
Okay, so they're like metal rods you hold on to, and they cross if a spirit says yes to an answer, or they open up if a spirit says no. So I saw this chick like having a conversation with the spirit. You just see it going back and forth. And I had a vision of just seeing somebody being shot outside, back in like Western old timey days, coming in to the chapel and going behind a closed door. About 10 minutes later, there was an actual psychic there. I don't know if you've heard of Patty Negri from LA. She's a Hollywood White Witch. She went there and touched the door with another psychic, and they were like, a man died behind here. He was shot outside during a duel, and he came in here and died.
Shut up.
And that's who the chick was talking to. Here and there.
All the time.
Just here and there. It's just like it's my own memory, but I know it's not my memory, obviously, because I wasn't.
Yeah.
And then we went into another room, and we were just like in this bar, and there's probably like 15 of us, and somebody's communicating with the dowsing rods again, and they're like, is there anybody in here with us? And the spirit said yes, and she's like, how many of you? And we kept counting. There was like 11 spirits standing around outside the room watching us, she said. And it just, oh, it was so creepy. I've never felt like that before. Virginia City, please go.
Wow. What brought you to Virginia City for that church or that place that you were at?
Just the organized investigations in general. A friend of mine, his name is he is a paranormal investigator, has past 30 years. And he put on this paranormal kind of convention, like a conference. He does a paranormal retreat. You two were lavender water. Drinking haunted spritzer. Yeah. Yeah, so I went there for that. I just went there for that, now we're starting to do a business endeavor together. I want to start doing a little bit more overnights, and it's crazy.
Sydney, has there ever been a time where something happened that you were so scared that you were like, oh, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. Is there ever a time?
Luckily, I haven't had any like real negative experiences, except in Virginia City. Later that night, we were at the Mackey Mansion. Just the whole town in general is just the most haunted place I've ever been to. So we were at the Mackey Mansion, and the only public bathroom is downstairs and outside. And this is at a place where it's got a lot of recorded sights of a shadow man. That's just this evil, dark entity with like glowing eyes. And so sitting out on the back porch right there, waiting for my husband to use the bathroom, as there's just darkness behind me, but I just felt like I was being watched by like, not even 10 or 20 people, but like a whole town full of people anywhere you walked. It was really creepy. Wow. I didn't want to be there by myself.
Yeah, that's nuts. Sydney, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
He said, Allie Jacko 7, I tell you, it's promise freaking and terrifying.
Sydney, I appreciate you joining us. Good luck with all your paranormal investigating adventures. If you experience anything, you catch it on video, please DM me and send it to me. I would love to see
I have something on video I'll send you later.
Oh my God, send it to me.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Michaela.
Michaela 102 or Allie Jacko 7.
Okay, so there's Michaela 102. Says, on God, I have a story. Hold on, let's check Michaela. Oh, I said Butterfly. I told the Butterfly girl she was next. Hold on. Sorry, Michaela. I told Butterfly girl she was next. Let me check for her one more time, see if she's here, because last time I looked for her, she was not here. Butterfly. I don't see Butterfly. I think Butterfly left. Yep. Okay. Michaela. You next, girl. Michaela. 102. There she is. Okay.
Oh my gosh! Sorry, you caught me at the gym.
I caught you. Mira, you're messaging me. Pick me. Oh, yeah.
I am, because I was like, oh my gosh, give me an excuse to not run this mile.
I'm trying to move it so I don't have to bend down anymore because my shoulders hurt. Okay, that's good.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so you have a story.
Yeah, sorry, I'll set you up there.
Tell us your story. Let me get you some more greenage in the background.
No, you're fine.
Okay, tell me your story.
So when I was really little, like not really little, like 6th grade, I would have these super vivid dreams. And one of them was of this like creature, and it was like the color of my shirt, and it had really, really long arms, and it had eyes.
Like the guy at the like dealership that like blows.
Yeah, like this guy. Woo! That guy? Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. So it had really long arms, and then it had super just yellow eyes. Like, I don't even know how to describe it that well. But anyway, in my dream, I would like see it pace back and forth from the toe of my bed to the head of my bed. And in my dream, I could hear its arms like dragging on the floor. Yeah, straight like, and I had a messy room as a kid. I did not clean. It was not
there
like.
There was no room to be walking and dragging.
No, and if there was like, and I could, so like when I would wake up, and like I said, it was really vivid, and it would like open its mouth at me, like trying to get at me. And instead of like sharp teeth or anything, it had like people teeth, like rows and rows of like what baby teeth look like. And I was like, there's no freaking way this is real. But then I would wake up and my dog that I had at the time, her name was Annie, she would, like, I would wake up and I would look at her and she'd be growling and she'd like watch, she'd like look back and forth as like it was almost as if she was like watching whatever it was in my dream. And then like, so then I would like go back to sleep lots of times and then it would like pace again and then it would stop and like try to get at me again. And every time it stopped, I would wake up, but every time I woke up, my dog was like looking at the spot that it stopped in my dream and like she never growled at anybody. She was a great dog, super friendly, like never got into trouble, anything, but she had this like robust guttural growl like when I would wake up. Yeah. Yeah, and like my cousin and I are like really sensitive to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and we grew up in Hawaii too, like, so we have like super spiritual background, all that kind of stuff, and then
Hawaii over here.
yeah, it's always Hawaii, like it's always but yeah, and then so I mean I have multiple stories, like all kinds of stuff like that, but that's like the one that stuck with me the most because like I would see it. Even like I would be awake and like go to my grandma's house and it would be like peeking at corners. So finally my parents had to bless me and my room.
That's insane. Did it be rebuking nothing for you?
Yeah. So I told my mom, and she's watching this. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
And at first, no offense, love you so much, she like didn't believe me. I think she thought that it was kind of like all in my head until like I was losing sleep. And finally, like, she's like, okay, well, I guess we better bless you and like bless your room. So they took like holy water, like holy oil, blessed me, like did the salt, all kind of stuff, like did like the red tea leaf, like Hawaii kind of stuff. And then after that, yeah. And then after that, gone. Just gone. Yeah. So it was like
crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And like, she like took me, I just saw her. She's like, tell about the prison. Okay, Mom, just real fast. Other people want to tell their stories too. We went to this place. Now I live in Colorado, and we went to this place called Canyon City Prison Museum, and it shares a wall with an actual prison. Okay. And they have like an original gas chamber and stuff there. And like we went in, and as soon as we came out of the gas chamber, my mom could have sworn she like saw something like follow me out, like this black mist follow me out. And then we went into the actual museum itself, and we went to this the laundry room, and there was like, I went in by myself, being, you know, stupid and whatever. I went in by myself, and I felt this like horrible pain in my side, and I was like, this is ridiculous. And then so we finished the tour. We are like hearing all kinds of stuff, like, and we're the only two people in the museum, and we're hearing all kinds of voices, whatever. And so we finally go to like the tour manager, and I'm like, yeah, you know, like I just got this horrible pain in my side, like when I was in the laundry room. And she's like, oh yeah, that's like the room with the most activity, like lots of people were shanked in that room. And I was like, oh, so cool, like ghost trying to shank me because like I'm in its business. You're getting ghost shanks. Yeah, pretty much.
So you're super sensitive because you had that thing happen back when you were a kid in Hawaii, and then you have this thing happen in Colorado.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do spirits know who's sensitive?
I totally think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it definitely gets stronger when, like, if my cousin and I are together and we're the ones that like have it the most in our family. When my cousin and I are together, it's like we're exhausted all the time because it's like, not to be weird, but it's like it feels like they're like constantly like feeding off of your energy because like they know that you're like open to them, like that kind of stuff. So anyway,
that's crazy. Thank you so much for sharing your stories.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So
thank you to your mom too.
Yeah, no problem. And I hope you have a good day. And thanks for choosing me.
Thank you, friend. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. You guys, we're going to pick.
So, Anjelah Remy is on your list. And Butterfly Girl is back. But Anjelah Remy is on your list.
It's not working.
Oh, here.
Okay. So, I'm going to take one more story because this has been an hour and a half.
Yeah. Butterfly Girl is back? And Anjelah Rami is part of your list.
Okay, and what was her story? What was her thing?
JoKoy just said take her because she's on your list.
Okay.
Anjelyrammil.
Okay. For some reason, when I okay, spell it again. ANGELL. Oh, there she is, Angelica Ramirez. Okay, girl, you better have a good story. Angelica. Waiting for Angelica.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, so you left me a comment on my post with your story, right?
Yeah.
What was your story again? Remind me of the bullet points.
Bullet points is I was little. I used to see a little girl. She was like a shadow
And she would follow
person.
you.
Yeah, she would follow me.
Okay. Sorry, is that the story you're gonna tell everybody?
I can tell that one. There's also something really weird that happened at the Queen Mary, but I've always been sensitive to energy, stuff like draining me and stuff like that. The Queen Mary was really creepy, so I'll just do that.
Okay.
We went on a tour. We entered into where the pool area is.
Okay.
And before she even said anything, immediately I just felt like drained. And it just felt heavy, and I ignored it. I was like, maybe I'm just tired. But then I felt like something really cold around my arm. And it felt almost like when little kids wrap their hands around your forearm. And I looked over and there was nobody there. And then I looked at my boyfriend at the time and I just kind of breathed through it and I was like, it's fine. It's fine. And we keep walking and this little person still holding on to me and I can feel it getting colder. So I was like, okay. And I started draining and my boyfriend looks at me. He's like, you look really pale.
Ooh.
And I was just like, okay, all right. I'm fine though. So we're walking and then suddenly, we go into the changing room.
Okay.
And I get sick. All of a sudden, I started almost to pass out. My stomach started turning and I looked at him and I was like, I need to leave. I feel sick. And he was like, are you okay? I think you're just dehydrated. I was like, no, I feel drained, dude. I need to go. And this little person was still holding on tight to me. So wow. I'm like, I wonder why just this area. And I couldn't even hear what the lady was saying. I was just so in my head. But I could feel everybody looking at me, but nobody was looking at me. So there's just all these eyes on me, but I couldn't, there's nobody around other than just the people. And then finally I just looked and the lady was like, oh, they're this is the vortex. They say that this is I guess she called it a vortex, a portal where spirits go in and out. That's where the most energy and activity is.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. And I walked back out to the pool area and I just kind of felt this little person tugging on me after. So she was still holding on to me. Then I started feeling my shirt being pulled. So I just kept looking what is going on? And then I just looked at my boyfriend. I was like, this is too much for me. I can't
Wow.
I can't anymore. But yeah, I guess she said that there is sightings of a little girl there, specifically in the pool area. And it's
That's
a little
crazy
girl.
Because as you're telling the story, there's people commenting saying there's a child who haunts the Queen Mary. I actually have a fan who sent me a video from the Queen Mary. So, because I talk about often that I'm very interested in these paranormal things. So this girl sent me a video of her haunted tour that she did in the Queen Mary, but she did it just her and her boyfriend. They weren't with a tour guide or anything. They just went by themselves. They went to this room where they had heard there was activity. She sent me the video. I saw the video and I saved it and I can't find it in my phone. But so it's a room that's locked. It's a hotel room type, whatever. It's locked, right? They're out front videotaping, talking, saying, hey, is anybody in there? Da-da-da-da-da. Next thing you know, the door starts shaking. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You can see it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's shaking like that. And they take off running. On the Queen Mary.
Oh my God. Yeah, I haven't gone back since. I just like, yeah,
That is
yeah.
nuts. Girl, thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Bye.
Good luck with your energy. Guard your energy everywhere you go so nobody be stealing from you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. That was a good one. The Queen Mary is in Long Beach. You guys, this was awesome. Was there anybody else on that list that was
Butterfly girl.
Did she come back?
Yeah, she's back. She had a demon follow her for years until
Okay.
the priest cast it out.
We're gonna do Butterfly. I'm gonna look for you one more time, Butterfly girl. Every time I look for you, I can't find you, and you'll be the last one. Butterfly girl, B, U. Oh, there she is. Dominique Lopez. Where you been, girl? Dominique. Are you guys enjoying this? I say do it again, please. This has been so awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this.
This is like my normal day. Talking to ghosts. Hanging out.
Waiting for Butterfly Girl. Okay, so something about Butterfly Girl, don't want us to hear her story because every time I look for her, she's not there. Now it says waiting for her to connect and it won't connect. I think that means Butterfly Girl has a story we need to hear.
Everyone says they're loving it.
Okay, good. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm so glad you're enjoying this as much as I am. Yeah, look, it says at the bottom, waiting for Butterfly Girl to connect, and it's not connecting.
Butterfly girl.
You know what that means, right?
We gotta work on
Oh, unable to join. See, Butterfly Girl, something is not working. The ghosts don't want to see her story. I know. That is it. Let me try again. There she is. But oh, where did you go? It disappeared. B-U-T. Add. Okay. I'm adding you, girl. She's a ghost. Ooh, somebody said she's a ghost. It says it again. I'm waiting for her, and it's not.
She's even saying she doesn't know why she can't get on.
She's messaging you?
She's messaging Jakey.
Oh, okay. That is so strange. Okay, so while I'm waiting for Butterfly Girl to join, somebody said, tell us your story. So I shared the video of all the haunted things that happened in Cleveland. If you didn't see it, check my feed. It's like 3 posts back or 4 posts back. That was definitely the most paranormal experience that I have had in one time. And I think the craziest one was a ghost answering my phone.
Tell me that.
I never told you that story?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna tell you guys my story. It went away again for Butterfly Girl. Okay. Let me try to accept her one last time. Okay, so we're in Cleveland. All kinds of crazy things are happening that day. And I documented it all in my stories and everything. Oh, here she is. Girl!
Oh my gosh, it doesn't want me to talk to you.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, finally, it kept logging me off.
That's strange. So you got a story that you got to share then, because it was like, we don't want her to share.
It doesn't.
Tell
It doesn't want me to let you know all the details.
Okay, I'm ready for it. Tell us what happened.
So San Jose here also, just so you know.
San Jose. This story takes place in San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
So,
wait,
okay, so basically since a really long time, maybe 14, I've always had spirits follow me. I'd had
Wait, since when?
I was 14 and I'm 33 now.
I thought you said since May 14th. I was like, wait, that's my birthday?
Oh, no,
Hold
no.
on. Okay,
go. So, I've always had to keep it to myself because every time I talked about it, something would happen. It will literally throw something at someone. Things have fallen on people around me. I always thought.
Wait, so maybe that was the Lord trying to protect me from hearing your story.
Maybe. Probably. I just had to come bless me.
So, you died. So weird. Okay,
Okay. So, let's see. I've seen a lot of stuff. I would have voices calling me in my ear, and it would be a man. And I always thought, like, maybe I'm freaking crazy, you know, because it would only happen to me, and it would always happen no matter where I was. If I was at my parents' house, we just moved also, and my daughter, she's 4, and her ball came bouncing from the living room all the way down the hallway, and my boyfriend finally saw it because those anniversaries were getting ready. And then in my ear, a man was like, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, did you hear that? And then he was like, no. He always thought I was kind of crazy, right? Because he never saw it. So I just moved in this place about 4 months ago. Long story short, my neighbor was telling me that she has family that knows, like, the Mexi way of learning and, like, reading the egg, and you put the egg in the water.
Right.
So I did it, and it was crazy. Like, the egg, it was, like, all over, like, a cluster. So she told me to go to this blessing place, and you bless your house. So I go there, and I don't know Spanish, even though I should. But
I feel you.
But there was a man at the counter, and he was asking what I needed, and I told him what was going on, and there's something following me, and I don't want to go too long, but my kids were having incidents happen to them too. And so I was like, okay, messing with the kids, it got to go. So I went there, and
I'll fight. I'll
yeah,
fight a ghost.
yeah. And this lady who worked there, she only spoke Spanish, and she kept staring at me, like staring, and I could see her on the corner of my eye. So the cashier was like talking to her in Spanish, and I'm just like, what's going on? And he's like, look at her, she wants to look at you. So I look at her, and she's staring, and she said, there's a man here with you. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, there's a man here with you, but have you had kid experiences? And I was like, yeah. And my daughter had this imaginary friend. And she was like, he comes as a kid because he's trying to talk to you. Don't talk to him. So I go home, and all kinds of stuff started happening at my house. I'm hearing voices. I'm having nightmares. So I'm like, okay. He asked me, did you play the Ouija board? And I hate to say, when I was really young, I did once. To make that story short, because I know you have to go, I went to my friend's. She called me at like 2, and you know, girl code, she's like, hey, I need you now. I go over there thinking she had drama. She was playing the Ouija board, and the Ouija board was spelling my name out and wouldn't let her get off until I got jumped on. And I didn't really know much about it, and I was like, my friend was crying, so I jumped on to let her get off because I wouldn't let her get off, and I saw it spell my name out. It said, hi, Dominique. And so I jump on, and then within like 5 minutes, the lights turned off, and then a little light turned on, and there was this huge shadow behind one of the people on it, and all 4 of us saw. Then my car was in the driveway. It turned on by itself, and the front door had a demon cut out on the front door. I know it sounds crazy, but there's 5 of us. We all seen it, and it was the hugest shadow I've ever seen of like someone that had to be like 7-8 feet tall. And so I finally, about a month ago, called a pastor, and because of COVID, we did the blessing over the phone. And he said, do the Ouija board. And I said, yeah. And I told him the store I went to, and he was like, that is not a blessing store. And I was like, oh my gosh. He said, throw away everything that they gave to you to bless your house. That same, okay, so I got blessed. I went paralyzed. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. I couldn't even go to the bathroom. My boyfriend's like, what's wrong with you? And I could hear everything around me, but my body was completely paralyzed. And I couldn't move or anything after I talked, and I talked to the preacher. And then that night, the woman who told me that she saw something in me, she was in my nightmare. And she pretty much killed all of us. So Yeah, and I don't know if it's her. I don't know. I threw away everything I bought from that store, and that same night I got blessed. I had the worst dream I ever had in my entire life because I have kids, so they were involved in that dream.
Listen. So you had played the Ouija board. You had a thing follow you. Then you went to a store that was for like blessings. And the lady at that store was like, ooh, you have something evil. But really, she was also evil?
Yeah, she was also evil. And the pastor had a lot of people who need blessings come from that store. Yeah.
What the heck store is that? So we never ever go there. Okay, here's the thing. First of all, that is crazy. Do you feel it's gone away now since the pastor blessed you?
Yeah, I think so. I after that one nightmare that night, I haven't had any more. I haven't had anything talk to me. I mean, I have years and years of things like in my garage. I would eat yogurt and the spoon would just circle and circle around the entire bowl. Like it always let me know it was there. I would have like times where I'd be in the shower and I could feel someone behind me, and then you look and there's nothing there. And
still or back then?
No, literally right before. And since I played the Ouija board, I was really young. I was like probably a teenager. And yeah, actually I think I was like 17 when I did it, and it called me out then, and it must have wanted me back then because it's been with me this entire time until I got blessed. And the blessing was a really long blessing. And yeah, it was literally, my son's older, he's gonna be 17, so when we talked about it, literally all this, like out of nowhere, a stuffed animal falls on him, and I don't even have a shelf above him or anything. There's no way that stuffed animal could have came. And he got so scared, he like didn't want to talk about it, and I didn't blame him, but I just want to know like mom wasn't crazy, and then something happened to him, so I didn't talk about it to nobody.
How'd you find the pastor to bless you? Did you go to that church or you just heard of him?
It's actually my boyfriend's pastor. He went there for years, and I couldn't get a hold of mine with this whole COVID thing, and it was just getting out of control at the new house.
Yeah.
And yeah, it follows me everywhere, and the fact it followed me here, it didn't feel like a fresh new start, so I just went to him, and yeah, I went paralyzed.
And now you feel like it's cleansed?
Yeah, I feel like it's cleansed. I hope so, at least, unless this thing's tricking me. But
Erica, what do you think?
I think that was real. Even Bonzo just woke up. That was the real test. The
real
test is when animals know.
Let me tell you, Bonzo been right here asleep the whole time. And then when you started telling your story, he starts going like,
and he got up and moved the whole time.
Yeah, I got a puppy, and he does that too in his sleep. I hope that it's still not with him then.
That was real.
He's calm now, so yeah, I think your ghost left.
Okay, good. Thank you for confirming that.
Yes, he's gone. En el nombre de Padre, de Hijo, de Espíritu Santo. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, thank you so much
for
sharing your story. You're in San Jose right now?
Yes.
My hometown.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna wear my bye hat right now.
Oh, thank you. Go tell my tia Mary I said hi.
I will.
I appreciate you telling your story. Listen, either your internet is weak or the demon's still there, because you've been blurry this whole time, and like
no way.
Yeah, and would like glitch a little bit. So
Girl, we pay for the highest internet possible, so it can't be that just because my boyfriend works from home and I have kids, and you know how that goes. So maybe I should get blessed one more time.
I think you need to call that pastor and be like, give me a refund, first of all. And your cell phone blessing did not work. I'm gonna need you to put a mask on and come to my house.
Literally.
And bless my house. Thank you.
Okay, I'll do that.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye.
We'll see ya. Bye.
Ya.
Okay, you guys. I think that was worth it. I think that was worth hearing her story. That was a good one.
That's a good one. That was real.
And I like that she cut the fat on her details.
The wind started moving. It started getting real creepy around here.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, that felt weird.
Okay, so we'll end it on my story, and then we'll call it a night. And then if you guys really are into this and you want me to do it again, I'm going to post this in my feed. So just leave me a comment in the feed and be like, do this again. So I know like enough people want to do this again. You know? Okay. So we'll end on my story. I posted a video, but I have not told Erica the story. So I'm going to tell you the story. So, oh my gosh, should I just tell you the whole night? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're on my tour last fall, technically not stalking tour. I hope you guys came. We're on a tour bus going city to city. We pulled to Cleveland. Every venue we go to, I always ask whoever's worked there the longest, like, hey, is this place haunted? And so we get off the bus. I had already heard Cleveland is super haunted. So the stage manager is standing at the door to welcome us. And first thing out of my mouth, I'm like, hey, is this place haunted? He's like, yep. I'm like, ooh, tell us the stories, right? And so we're just like doing welcomings, right? We see the door start closing shut. We're at the side stage door. It's a heavy door, propped open, and it just starts closing shut. And we're like, that's weird. It was windy, but it wasn't like whew, windy. It was just like right now, just windy, right? The thing that was propping it up was a metal cylinder block, brick thing. Metal.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Way too heavy.
Way too heavy for a little breeze to close it.
Yeah.
So we were like, ooh, that's crazy. Anyways, he gives us a tour of the venue. It's huge. It's an old Masonic theater, temple, venue, gym, all the things, right? So he's giving us a tour of the whole place, and we hear little noises here and there, and that's creepy. Eddie, JoKoy's husband, who's with us, all of his electronic devices are not working. His computer, fully charged, won't turn on. Cell phones, not working. He goes to iron his shirt, the iron won't work. Any of the electronics for him, not working.
They didn't like him.
Oh, no. So we're getting a tour of the whole team. One by one, people peel off to go start working, set up merchandise, go whatever, right? So now it's just me, Bonzo, and the stage manager. That's it. We're finishing the tour together. So we go to this old part of like the temple where they would have meetings and stuff, and he's like taking me up. We go up a creepy elevator, and it's like there's flags hanging, and it's like, wow, this is like, I don't know, they had like seances in here or something. I don't know what they had in here. It was evil. Let's go. So we leave. We're walking through like a side area where they keep just like storage stuff. Bonzo's on his leash. He's walking. All of a sudden, he just stops. And he won't move. And I'm like, that's weird. So I pull out my phone. I start videotaping him. And I'm like, Bonzo. And he'll just like look back at me and then look forward. And he wouldn't move. And then he would look back at me and look forward. And then all of a sudden he starts like backing up away from that area where we were walking this way. And he starts backing away. And I'm like, what? That is insane. So we start walking. I keep pulling him with me. I'm like, come on, let's go. And he's walking. And as soon as we get towards the door area, he walks real fast. He's like, no. And he walks fast away. And we're like, dang, that was crazy, right? I was like, ooh, and I got this on video too. It's on my feed. Go like 3 things down, and you could see this video's on there. Okay, so then, oh, he knows I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can tell.
Look at him.
Moved.
So then, this is the craziest part. We're in our green room. It's down in the basement of this old venue. So we're down in the basement. And at this point, it's me and my friend Elena who is there helping me, right? And so we're just in there. I'm on the computer typing something. My phone is like right here. And I'm like, oh, I have to feed Bonzo, but I left his food on the bus. Can you go grab it for me? She's like, yeah, sure. So she leaves to go to the bus. Now it's just me, Bonzo, by ourselves in, oh, wait, hey, Bonzo. Okay. Me, Bonzo, by ourselves in the basement. And I'm typing on the computer. All of a sudden, I'm like, where's Bonzo? Where did he go? So I put the computer down. I get up. I start walking out there, and I see a stairwell. Bonzo's halfway up the stairwell. So I start going up the stair. I'm like, nah, you better get back here. I don't want no ghost trying to eat you. Let me get you. So I pick up Bonzo. I bring him back into the room. I close the door so he cannot get out of the dressing room anymore. I close the door. I come. I sit back, put the laptop back on my lap to start typing, but then I see my phone that was right here on the table, and now the phone is on.